Right, here's another one, because kind of got to get information out. So I'm making a video that's specifically directed at the politicians, because most of them have no real clue as to what they're doing as ministers or MPs or reps or whatever they are in office. And they have no comprehension of the oath that they're taking to enter office in the first place, because at school they removed all of this education in 1973. So most of your politicians really have no idea what they're doing when they enter Parliament and take an oath in the first place. None of you have really been educated on what rule of law is, how a line of authority is relative to that rule of law, and how the authority to sit in office firstly comes about in the first place. So all of you politicians working in the Australian government never contemplated that they were entering a foreign power, did you? And those of you that do sit in government right now, the ones of you pushing continuously for a republic since Robert Menzies in 1939. The ones like John Howard that wrote books called The Lazarus, I can't remember the name of the book, but he wrote books about the republic and how that was the model that he wanted to bring to Australia, the Robert Menzies model. Now, Robert Menzies undermined your crown in 1939 by declaring war on behalf of a foreign power. And ever since then, a foreign power has had an interest in removing your Commonwealth from you. And all these politicians enter Parliament in complete ignorance of the entity at which they've taken an oath to. Stockholm Syndrome. You can't think outside the box you were indoctrinated in, can you? You're stuck. You don't know why you're fucking the whole entire country, do you, politicians? And now that it's being pointed out to you, Jackie Lambie, Andrew Wilkie, Christian Porter, Julian Hills, Malcolm Turnbull, Scott Morrison, Bill Shorten, the list goes on and on and on as to the amount of you that have gone silent to us. Some of you do know what you're doing. Others of you are completely bloody ignorant. So, let's turn our attention to you lot that do know what you're doing. Christian Porter, Scott Morrison, Malcolm Turnbull, Bill Shorten, John Howard, Bob Hawke, right? And now we've got all of these pedophilia cases coming up. Bob Hawke outed as a pedophile. Bob Hawke's daughter comes forward and says Bob Hawke told her to be silent because Daddy's a pedophile too. Christian Porter being questioned about pedophilia. Right? These are all the Republican people that have been pushing your constitution to the sideline while they come in and rape your country blind. These are the ones that are using their office to try and undermine authority. These are the ones that will go to jail if you stand up. Is it no wonder they want this republic so badly now, knowing that we've discovered rule of law? Is it no wonder that Christian Porter, the Attorney General, removed the rule of law webpage from his website? When questioned on rule of law, Christian Porter, you went silent. And then your department removed the web page relative to rule of law, which still exists on archive.org, to prove that you removed it. So all these politicians pushing for a republic are acting as your enemy. They are using their office year after year after year in an attempt to undermine your authority as a people. And you sit back and you watch them do it year after year after year. Now, in the last video, we showed you Christian Porter went silent. He literally had a ball gag in his mouth. And I bet you someone else in government wrapped him up in that ball gag. He will not speak. He knows damn well he's outside rule of law. No one will approach me on this subject because they know they're outside of rule of law. Year after year after year, these politicians go silent. Several of them have resigned over the time I've been pushing. I've been pushing since Quinton Bryce was Governor-General, under Letters Patent 2008, under a foreign Great Seal of Australia. And you lot can't snap this together in your heads. Even you politicians can't fathom this in your minds. You took a foreign oath to enter a foreign entity called Australia, and it's not the Commonwealth of Australia, and you are seeking to destroy the Commonwealth of Australia from this administrative entity called Australia, and it's about time the people stood up and said to you now, stop! No more! We are the de jure Commonwealth of Australia. You are an administrative banking entity. You do not have the right to turn us into a republic. And we have every right to come home to our Commonwealth from your ship, your citizenship. Luke 15, we found our law in the temple as described in that Bible. And you have gone silent so badly that the people now realise who you are. Keep it up. Governor-General, you will dissolve what is a foreign parliament at law. You have no choice now but to dissolve what is a foreign parliament at law. Otherwise, the people have every right under the laws of armed conflict and the Hague Conventions to ignore you at law. You are a foreign power on their soil and they have no obligation to keep a foreign power happy. So, you politicians, are you going to start to realise now? We know what your game is. And to all the people listening, you've started to realise every single one of them that is pushing for a republic is seeking to destroy your country. And they don't have the lawful right to issue you that republic. They're going to offer you something so that you leave your land altogether and join them on your land. And in doing that, you will lose your land to them altogether. Because once a constitutional monarchy proper is gone from this land, they will install a president. And then you will have no constitutional protections, no Bible to stand by whatsoever. Their president will have open slather, just like a US president, to take you to war, to conscript you, to spend your money, to put you in debt, to enslave you. And they weren't even you to start with. So why are you listening to a foreign power who wants to remove you from your land into a foreign republic? It's time to come home to your Commonwealth, everybody, and realise. And to all you politicians yet again, look at us coming home. Look at us standing up. Look at us raising our red flag. Look at us uniting. We aren't protesting you, we are demonstrating to you who we are. And we are demonstrating to you that we are the de jure inhabitants of this Commonwealth of Australia, at which you are an administration called Australia, formed in 1973 to run the seat of government that was dissolved and shut down by the Governor-General in 1975. So, time to wake up. Politicians, we know who you are now. Politicians, you're traitors to our Commonwealth. You took an oath to a foreign power, and Scott Morrison issued a flag pin defending his right to be that foreign power. And the Attorney General, siding with that flag pin, failed rule of law because he's unable to link anything back to your Anzac. The Australian Defence Forces are American Naval Marines flying an American naval flag issued to you in 1908 under Hague Conventions. It's never been your flag, and you accept it as your own, ADF. Who are you, ADF? Where is your homeland, ADF? Because you don't know. And you're certainly not defending it for us, are you? Considering that the house prices have risen 600% and food's risen 200% and fuel is always controlled by the government and cigarette taxes and all the rest of these taxes that I'm not talking badness of health here, I'm purely finance. They are raping the shit out of us, and you fight for them for oil to pay debts off. That's who you are, ADF. Okay, so we as a country need to look at what the fuck's going on in our land and start thinking about our homeland and look at these politicians who are obviously lying to you all every single day. Every single day they lie to you. I mean, it's dishonourable. Now, I've rung dozens of politicians. Now, I will show you. You can't get through to any single politician, not one of them. Not one of them is going to answer your phone call. And the only reason Christian Porter answered the phone to me and took it from his colleague's hands was because of what I accused you of, Christian Porter. You are a criminal at law. You are a fraud, an imposter, a liar, a thief, a con artist. You are fraud. You are defrauding the people. You are acting in treason of our Commonwealth. You are in treachery of our Commonwealth. You are imitating a Commonwealth public official. You have committed so many crimes, Christian Porter. And then on the other side of the fence, knowing that we know who you work for, you're a war criminal. You've disregarded the Hague Conventions over and over and over and over again. You are a war criminal. So it doesn't matter what side of the fence you want to stand on, Christian Porter. These people will soon come to realise on one side of the fence you're a thief and a liar, and on the other side of the fence you're an invader and a war criminal at that. These are your politicians, everybody. These are the people running your government. They never took an oath to you. They never served you. Not once did they serve you since 1973. Not once have they served you. They serve a bank and themselves. They give themselves pay rises. They protect themselves. They hold themselves in secrecy. They do backyard deals in secrecy, and they get caught out at it, and they suffer zero consequences for their actions. These are the people in our government. A foreign imposter imitating our government. And it's up to us, the people, to see this and address it for what it is. And stop pandering to these politicians that are obviously lying to all of you.